Jurassic World is the newest in the franchise and is directed by Colin Trevorrow, who previously his biggest film was Safety Not Guaranteed, and that was an indie. Now he's doing this big blockbuster, and he goes about it like the biggest fanboy in the world. And that really works. Now, you don't necessarily need to see 3-1 because it's not really a good movie, and this one completely disregards it. It doesn't have a lot of callbacks really to the second one either, but the first one, you should have seen already. And 2, this movie does a lot of callbacks to that one. It is very nostalgic as well, but you do also have to think that, okay, now this one is taking place 22 and some years after the first one, and you're wondering, wait a minute, how is it that they are legally able to make this park, and also, how are they able to make this park? I mean, this is a Jurassic World. It is an amazing amusement park that they have there with dinosaurs all over the place. They would expect that it would take a little bit longer. But either way, they put us in this scenario where people are visiting this place called Jurassic World. It is just this Disney park full of dinosaurs. And the main character in this movie, we follow different people, but really the main one is Bryce Dallas Howard's character. And she is like the one who oversees the whole park. While I think she's a great actress, she has lines in this movie which are sort of like, hey, you have to talk to that trainer. Oh, not the trainer. And she even herself was the one who decided that her character should be wearing high heels. Trust me, she looks beautiful, but why would you be wearing high heels throughout all of this? You then have Chris, should be the next Indiana Jones Pratt, who plays the comic relief in a sense of this movie. He's the trainer who trains the raptors, and he sort of has like a relationship going on with Bryce Dallas Howard's character. However, it's the relationship between him and a raptor called Blue that really has things going because they are homeboys. Even though I'm pretty sure Blue was supposed to be a girl. You then have the 2 kids, the older brother who really just cares about looking at other girls. He was in Kings of Summer. And the little kid who was in Insidious, he was also the little kid in Iron Man 3. This kid is a really good actor. There is a scene which isn't really called for in the movie where he has sort of like a callback to what he feels his parents are going through. He gets so emotional and so into it. I'm like, this is a Jurassic movie. We should not be feeling this emotional. However, they're good for what they do. Really, all the characters are there and they do their thing, but they are sort of one-dimensional. They aren't really like the best characters. You don't really get the emotion that you got from the first Jurassic Park movie. However, the verdict. It is still a good Jurassic movie, and it is definitely a great summer blockbuster. Does it have mistakes? Sure, I'm going to talk about them, but it also has some really cool things. Starting off with the dinosaurs. They create this new dinosaur that is a hybrid of things. The thing is legit. The thing is scary. However, there is that whole mixture of CGI and non-CGI. Some of the things don't work with the CGI. For example, like they use a shark and they CGI'd it and it looks terrible. But there are some CGI that is done well. There's also the best dinosaur, the one that looks the most realistic, and that's one that is like dying, and Chris Pratt is like trying to like pet it while it's like in pain, and that looked really realistic. But then there are others that are just okay. Then there's the whole screenwriting aspect of it, and where sure, it becomes a really cool monster movie where they're fighting and they're going at it. However, like I said with the characters, the one main thing that is going on really follows through all of Jurassic Park is that they don't know how to set their priorities. I mean, first of all, they go super crazy and that's why they get into this mess. You then have the characters individually who make dumb decisions, again, going back to Bryce Dallas Howard's character, who always forgets that she's supposed to be taking care of her nephews, and she always does something else, and again, she's wearing high heels throughout the whole time, so that's a bad decision in and of itself. The movie also does tailor to its PG-13 rating, and where there are moments where it's like, that should be a little bit more violent, but they cut it away. There's also, you know, a scenario where there should be bodies all over the place, but they play the Left Behind game, and they all disappear, so it's not as gory. But then there are other scenes where it makes me think, I actually wouldn't bring a kid to see a scene like that, so it plays it on both sides. However, again, some of the best moments in this movie are when they make callbacks to the original, and I'm not going to spoil all of them, but there's a whole dialogue comedic scene that happens in the beginning by I don't want to call him a cameo, but he's worked with the director before, and he plays one of the guys who's there working on the computer. He has some of the best comedic lines. He is the best comedic relief, and he has this whole scenario where he's talking about the original park as opposed to the new park, and the practicality as opposed to all of the genetic things that they have done, and I adore that scene. And I mean, they find a lot of ways to be able to make callbacks to the first one. I mean, you remember that Clippy thing that was really a DNA that pretty much was the exposition in the first? They're able to bring him back. They're able to bring a bunch of other things back. Even the one character who has been the consistency, and that is BD Wong, who was in the first one, and it really seems like he's only aged a year, but he is a sort of side character with a really prominent role, however, that seems like it's going to build more of a story. And this dude is making a comeback to the point that he was the best part of Focus. Now he's got more things going on with here. I can't wait to see more of him. Overall, Jurassic World does an awesome job at being a great summer blockbuster that gives you a scene at the end that is just amazing and is a movie that still pays homage to the first one, and it's able to bring back that nostalgia back. But it still is a movie that has its flaws, with its characters not being fully developed to be as good as the first one, and little things here and there that don't really add up. However, is it worth the time and definitely worth watching in theaters? In the biggest IMAX theater to get that experience from these dinosaurs. Either way, I am curious your thoughts if you're able to check out this film. Definitely let me know down below in the comments section. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.